G'day guys, how you doing? I'm just dropping the live link into the break feed, and then I'm just going to drop it into the group chat. I think otherwise we're good. So I hope you're doing really good today. Hey Ben, what's going on, mate? If you are here, please say hi. Hey Alvaro, how are you, buddy? Yeah, actually what I'm going to do today, I sort of, yeah, I'd love to see something short printed, man, to 8. That would be awesome. Hey Josh, hey Shane, what's going on? Welcome, Shane. Hello, Mr. Westwood, how are you, buddy? Yeah, look, so I'm not great at promoting it. I definitely think this is something that's been on my mind to, get a little bit better. So I'm just going to really quickly do a bit of selfless, shameless promotion. So this is the podcast that I work on, I work with. I do it with Adam Amy. And we've got a really good promotion up at the moment. So basically you just have to get onto our Twitter. Our Twitter is at YouCan'tCompThis. And we've got a sponsorship from a shop in Adelaide called Slabd. So SLABD. slabd.com.au. And basically what we're giving away is a $50 voucher. And we're going to be doing it for 5 weeks. So this is week 3. The first 2 weeks we did it on Instagram, and we're going to do Twitter this week and next week. And then we're going to do the Facebook after that. So yeah, guys, look, it's a podcast just about basketball cards. We did do soccer last week, admittedly, though, but it was a good episode to have Martin on. So, yeah, check it out. Look, to go into the competition, it's not labor intensive. You just have to like, comment, and follow us. So, it's like 3 clicks. Like, follow, comment, yeah. So that's it. And that's the end of my promotion. What's Twitter? Yeah, it was a super quick fill. Hey, Paul, what's going on? Samuel. Alrighty, guys, I'm just going to change the feed over. And the other thing that I wanted to work on this week a little bit too was just giving you a bit better example of the sealed, because we had a sealed case last week too, and when I opened it, I did it on the side camera. I mean, in saying that, we had 2 blank slates in the case, so clearly I hadn't mined the boxes and picked all the good stuff out, but just, I just want to start doing things a little bit better. So yeah, that's a small thing. I'll open this bad boy up, and then I'll change the feed over to the camera, and then we're good to go, lads. So yeah, and to the comments that are there, 100%, I really appreciate the quick fill, lads. You have no idea. In terms of pricing, look, I always try and do what I can. We try and keep it like pretty pretty friendly here. That's definitely something that we wanted to do. So alrighty, just gonna grab this camera, and we are good to go, lads. Alrighty, so we're set up for the break now. Hey Luke, what's going on? Hey J-Rock. Hey, thanks Samuel. So come to Tassie. I mean, I don't know, Richard. I'm pretty sure. Thanks Nick. Appreciate it, man. I don't know, Richard. I'm not too sure about this, mate. I'm pretty sure Twitter is at Tasmania. I mean, you've got Cherry Collectibles in Tasmania now, for God's sake. So, hey, thanks, Big Russ. Alrighty, guys, let's kick it off. So I was right at my brother's place last night, and I helped him with his break. I was just like his side piece, really. I just did his penny sleeving, and yeah, it was a really good time. It's super interesting though, like seeing the baseball stuff, because it's literally just an entirely different beast to what NBA is. like the literally the cards are just completely different. But I tell you what, the jumbo box, we talk about having junk wax in NBA. Yeah, there is, mate. There's a few. Yeah, it is insane how much cardboard they do in baseball. Like, it really is just next level. I mean, there's a little bit of sentiment in NBA that we do junk wax, but I don't know. That was just unbelievable. Like, one of the boxes. Alrighty, first rookie, Austin Reeves. That's going to the Lakers. And our Chinese New Year. So straight off the bat, that is for Mr. Spook Griffin. Miles McBride on the Chinese New Year. It literally is next level, honestly. How much cardboard was in those packets. Hey Russ, what's going on, mate? Hey Nick. So US Sports Cards Australia is the parent break page. So I probably should pin that to the top. But Nick, I can drop it in the link later. But if you search for US Sports Cards Australia, that's the parent page. So they do baseball, they do ice hockey, they do NFL. And now they've got a pop culture page too, so they do all that stuff. Alrighty, that's a nice hit. That is for Philadelphia, Tyrese Maxey, who has absolutely been storming through the hobby world at the moment. The only person I think that was hotter than him lately was probably Jordan Poole, so he's just been absolutely red hot. Hey Jono, what's going on, mate? Second rookie is Sharif Cooper. That's for the Hawks. And Chinese New Year is for the Denver Nuggets. That's for Shane. Yeah, Shane, that's for you, mate. Michael Porter Jr. Yeah. So in terms of, pricing and, all that type of stuff, yada yada, it's exactly the same as how we do it here. Like, so Ross Taunton, who runs the page there, he's been a big influence on me, like how to be a breaker and stuff in terms of pricing and customer service. Davion Mitchell for the Sacramento Kings. Kings is Mr. John Williams. That's for you, mate. Ross, actually, no, I won't be popping up to Sydney. I'm a Melbourne boy. And to get me onto a plane to go to Sydney, yeah. For me at the moment, I got 2 young kids, just honestly, just getting them out of the house by 9 o'clock in the morning is pretty tough, to be honest. Like, in saying that though, I'm definitely going to Melbourne Hobby Hangout again. I had an absolutely awesome time at the last Hobby Hangout, and again, going back to the podcast, we've just secured sponsorship from EJ Cards, so I'm actually really keen to work with him and get like a hobby day, like a sort of a grassroots, like a small hobby day sorted out with them. So if you are in Melbourne, yeah, that's something, definitely keep an eye out for that. And we're going to be promoting that once we get all the details sorted out. But yeah, we'll promote that through the podcast, and we'll promote it through, the Facebook page, all that type of stuff. So, alrighty. Chinese New Year is Keldon Johnson. So guys, we've got our finals participants. So we've got the Celtics, which if you had told me that at the start of the year, I would never have guessed it. Yeah, man. Look, Sydney's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I got nothing against Sydney. But yeah, just honestly. I mean, when I was younger, I could drive to Sydney, for the weekend, but not anymore. Charles Bassey. And then underneath, we got a little bit of a banger here. We have got Mr. Josh Giddey. OKC. Thunder is Mr. Luke Griffiths. Yeah, I think the Warriors are going to give them a lot of problems. Like, a lot of problems, honestly. And, yeah. I get the feeling the odds are going to be, very heavily stacked. Alrighty, LeBron James. And behind that, we have got Mr. Julius Randle. Warriors in 7. So you think they're going to get 3 games, man? Yeah, Josh, that's right. So they're in the last, I think, 3 years, they're the only team that has a winning record against the Kevin Porter. That have got a winning record against the Warriors. So that's a super interesting. Alrighty, Bones Highland on the rookie, and Carmelo on the Chinese New Year. So you can get autographs out of these boxes, but they're not guaranteed. And we should get a couple, though, in saying that. Alrighty, Greg Brown. It's gone to Portland. That's going to Andrew Hart. And, yeah. I mean, really what we're looking for is some of these, short-numbered stuff, but... So the price on this has been pretty interesting, actually, because last year this actually, on release, went a little bit high. Not crazy high, but it went up, and then it really settled right back down. And Evan Mobley, that's for the Cavs. That's for UJ Rock, and behind that is Valanciunas. And this year they pretty well released it at the settled price of last year, so it's kind of interesting. We were expecting this, rookie class to come through and, prices to sort of pick up again, but it's been quite nice this year. I feel like the prices have stayed down, and I feel as though in, say, 18-19, a case of this would have been at least 3 times the price, maybe 4 times, So it's really good. Alright, we got some upside down action, so he's hoping for an auto. Drew Holiday, Wendell Carter, Kyrie, and we got a green. That is 72 of 88. Kessler Edwards. It's going to the Nets. Jesse Andrews, that's for you, mate. So last pack mojo there. A good start for the Nets. I'm actually really happy for the Warriors. I think they've had a really tough run the last couple of years, and I think their player development has been absolutely key for them, bringing Jordan Poole out of, pretty well obscurity. And then, I mean, I think to be fair, they dropped the ball drafting Wiseman, but, that's the worst thing that team is going to do over the last, few years. It would have been interesting to see LaMelo with the Warriors, though. Let's not be, let's not mince words on that one. That would have been pretty sweet. Alrighty, Westbrook. Kessler Edwards, this time's the base, and behind that, rookie is Jeremiah Robinson. So again, that's for OKC Thunder. Yeah, I completely agree, Zach. I could not agree more. I think, Moody looks like a decent prospect, and Kuminga just looks like a star in the making, honestly. It's just actually amazing how good at basketball that kid is. And just imagine, just the schooling that he's literally just getting every single day, just hanging out with Steph Curry. Capella for the Hawks. That's big, Russ. Thanks, Russ, for closing, mate. I really do appreciate that. Melo, Valanciunas, Jared Butler, and behind that, Chinese New Year is Harrison Barnes. These packets are not playing nicely. Alrighty, Dylan Brooks, Big Cole, Tyrese Halliburton, my boy, Damian Lillard, and Charles Bassey. That's for the Sixers. Sixers is Scotty Brand. Yeah, so what do you guys think about that with expansion? I'm not particularly super keen on the expansion. I mean, I don't understand the financials behind it, and I'm sure Duarte and Anthony Davis. It's going to the Lakers. Lakers is Nick Brown. You know, I have no idea, you know, their true sort of motivation for it. But for me, the league is in such good condition at the moment. Like, I don't really see, you know, the end game with that. My only thing, though, is it makes so much sense for Vegas to have a team. So if they need to, you know, move a team, you know, why don't they just send that team to Vegas? Like what the WNBA has done. Zion Williamson. That's going to the Pals. That's going to Tom IDF. Congrats, mate. That's a nice one. Yeah, Pals PYT has really slipped into, like, delicious territory, hasn't it? And I can't see his value not coming back. So that's a stronghold, Tom. Don't rush to sell that, mate. You're a Sonics fan, are you, man? I don't know. I think the whole Sonics thing, they're looking, you know, literally through that with, like, rose-colored glasses. Do you know, I've never heard of this guy. Banton. That's going to the Raps. And behind that, Bones Highland for the Nuggies. Mr. Shane Castle. I don't know. I don't think they're going to call them the Kings, man. Like, just for the, you know, the sort of the people that would go in and out of Las Vegas, you know, on holidays and stuff like that, and then you could go and see an NBA game, you could go and pick up all the merchandise. Honestly, like, just how good would that be? Already Dort, that's going to OKC. Ooh, Wendell Carter, Kyrie, the Bosnian Bear, Primo for the Spurs on the rookie, and Tyler Hero, whose injury really gutted that team. Look, maybe I'm being a grumpy old man and I just need to get over it that things are going to change, but I don't know. I just think the league at the moment is just so competitive. It's just not funny. It's just a lot of fun. Jason Tatum, the man of the moment. And Evan Mobley on the Chinese New Year. That's going to the Cavs. Mr. J-Rock. That's for you, boss. Congratulations. So 2 Mobleys out of 2 boxes, if I'm counting properly. I did notice how quickly that Boston got snapped up tonight. Quite far away. That's probably better, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, Jono, 100%, man. Like, it just makes financial sense. And that place is literally an entertainment mecca now. Alrighty, Wiggins. Let's go into the Warriors. Big Russ. Alrighty, Darren Fox, my boy. It's a nice shot of him. Alrighty, hopefully we got something nice in this last packet. Vucevic. Unnumbered. Alvaro. Alrighty, box 3. I mean, that would be funny if Wiggins got MVP instead of Steph Curry, wouldn't it? I think Steph's going to be gunning for the MVP in this playoffs. It's kind of weird because you don't, particularly, it's not the first thing in mind when it comes to Steph Curry that he's a stat chaser, but they literally put games on hold this year for him to get the 3-point record. So I'm not going to put it past him that he'll, try and gun a little bit more in the playoffs, in the finals, I should say. So and I actually had completely forgotten this. Bones on the rookie, and then Day'Ron Sharpe, that's for Brooklyn on the Chinese New Year. I'd completely forgotten this, that he actually hasn't got a finals MVP. So, even though you're joking that, Russ, it's not outrageous to think it's going to happen again. Like that time that Iggy got it, I don't think his numbers were, particularly spectacular. So, Paul George on the Chinese New Year for the Clips. That's for John O'Hardy. And replying to Ross Berman. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that team made money, ever. And I don't think people will go into the games. So I don't have a super, big problem with them moving. And also, too, the market they moved it to, Memphis, was... Alrighty, Mobley again. Malcolm Brogdon on the Chinese New Year. It's not like they sort of sold the team out. You know what I mean? They did take it to a grassroots team again, and I gotta be honest, I think the team that's gonna go next is gonna be Pelicans. If a team's gonna be relocated, they just really haven't, gained traction pretty well at all. And rookie, Houston Rockets, probably not the one you want to get, but still, that's a nice hit. That's gone to Ryan Taylor. That is Sengun on the Chinese New Year. $1.40, that actually seems like pretty good money, man. You would expect them to win, and you would expect him to get MVP. So, Aaron Wiggins and CJ McCollum for the Pels. Pels is Tom IDF. Okay, Ross. Yep. I mean, Samuel, for me, Vegas, I really, I just sort of, that's one of those things I really struggle to understand. Why on earth doesn't Vegas have a team? It just, you think about all the cities that have got teams, and it just doesn't make sense. Devin Booker, Phoenix Suns, Chinese New Year. Yeah, Samuel, that's probably my $2.10. That seems like good money, man. Now we've become a Kessler Edwards. So what's this? The third Kessler Edwards we've had. This is an Edwards case. Yeah. Just in terms of markets, and I do wonder though too, is if it is directly related to the gambling stuff that, there wasn't technically Luka Doncic on the Chinese New Year. That's for Mr. Richard Westwood. Congratulations, man. And now all that gambling stuff has, been legalized, and literally the NBA gets a percentage of every total bet they get. It's less than 1%, but it's a percentage. Actually, are they incentivized to move a team there? Would that, help them get a few more bets through? I actually, Kuminga on the base and Big Joker on the Chinese New Year. I put way worse bets down than $2.10 on Curry to win MVP. not playing nice. Alrighty. Cole Anthony, Halliburton, Bridges, and Jared Butler on the rookie. LeBron James, SGA, JT Thor, that's a pretty sick name actually, and Embiid on the Chinese New Year. So guys, with the singles prices sliding quite a fair bit, have you guys been picking up anything particular? Have you had anything on your chase list that has come down in price a fair bit, so you're thinking about getting it? Alrighty, green again. This time this is going to the Utah Jazz. Utah Jazz is Paul Riley. Congratulations, mate, to 88. So at the current pace we're going, every second box is getting an 88. So we're expecting 4 of these for the break. This is box number 4, lads. I've definitely got a lot more sort of low numbered stuff queued up in my eBay. And I have to admit, one of ones that are being auctioned at the moment, for me, these sellers are just literally the most ballsy people on earth. Like, to be selling yeah, probably someone like Ray Allen's not going to fluctuate a ton. I would probably say he's more susceptible to be honest, probably upward swings, just because, if retro gets popular again, like what happened a couple of years back. Jared Springer on the Chinese New Year, that's going to Philly. Scotty Brand. But yeah, see, Davion Mitchell, that's a tough one, because even though it's not the right time of year to be, buying and selling cards particularly, because, well, I'm assuming what we're talking about is, fresh autos coming out of boxes, it's new product. I think there'll still be a bit of interest there on people, chasing new product stuff. So, I mean, really, you might be able to wait a little bit to see what happens with Mitchell, and he might slide a little bit like further as the off season sort of ticks over a little bit more. I really like him though. I think he's going to be a 10-year NBA player. I've got no troubles at all buying into him. Alrighty, that's Dalland again. Alrighty, and the big fella, Montrez, Chinese New Year, that's going to the Hornets. Hornets is J-Rock. Yeah, I think if I can get one, really nice card this off-season, I think I'll be happy, and I've got a good feeling about it. Alrighty, rookie again. Mr. Sims, that's going to the Knicks. That's for Spook Griffin. Yeah, I definitely think he's talented. I think he's more talented on the defensive end than the offensive end. Alrighty, Primo for the Spurs, and Chinese New Year is Mr. Reggie Jackson. But the thing I probably found not unfair, but maybe a little bit inaccurate, is that he was a offensive liability, but his shooting numbers were pretty good. And you would expect them just to improve, so Alrighty, that was not what I was expecting in that spot there. Cooper for the Hawks. Hawks is Big Russ. That's the green. That'll be numbered to 88. 77 of 88. I was expecting that in the last pack, to be honest, lads. Isaiah Jackson and rookie card for the Spurs. Joe Wieskamp. Nice hit there for the Spurs. That's going to Big Russ. Congrats, mate. Christian Woods on the Chinese New Year. So Cherry isn't breaking tomorrow, and they had some promo code on their webpage tonight. Did anyone jump in and grab some discounted breaks? Not for tomorrow, the day after then, wouldn't it be? Jaden Springer. That's nice. That looks really good. DeJounte Murray. Again, that's for the Spurs. Big Russ. Jared Allen, Trae Young, Dennis Schroeder, Killian Hayes, and Scotty Barnes. That's going to the Raptors spot. Raptors, Mr. Luke Griffiths. Congratulations, mate. That is a bit of delicious. Not too sure if you're online or not, Luke, but congrats, mate. All NBA 13, Spicy P, Jericho Sims, and for the Hornets, Terry Rozier, the third. Westbrook, Michael Porter Jr. I hope he comes back soon, that guy. The second cog in the Celtics wheel, Jaylen Brown. Alrighty, that is the first half of the break. We are now on to box number 5. Yeah, it did take him a little while to show up, man. Not even a base, was it? Empty box. Yeah, the Spurs rotation is tough to crack, man. I mean, I feel like with Spurs cards, you really need to keep them for 2 years. Like, Pop is playing his rookies more, but I don't, rookie, Aaron Wiggins. Going to the Thunder. I don't think he's... they've gone down a youth movement. I'm not saying that he doesn't play young players, because that's not fair. But, I don't think he's, he plays people just because they're rookies. I think that's fair to say about Pop, Seth Curry. The better shooter in the family. Giannis again. I feel like that's maybe our 4th or 5th. Spicy Pete. Jericho Sims and Bane for the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's go into J-Rock. I'm sorry, J-Rock, I had so much confusion tonight when I was sorting out your break spots. I put your name in as Grizzlies instead of J-Rock on my sheet, and that actually, it took me a lot longer to work out than it really should have. Rookie again, Trey Mann. I like this kid as a prospect, but there's just so many dudes to prospect on the Thunder. It's a bit hard. You know, Poku is literally just being completely forgotten. That's going to be interesting to see what happens to Poku, actually. I like that dude's potential a lot. Alrighty, Wieskamp on the base. And Chinese new behind that is Bojan Bogdanovic. Not Bogdan. Valanciunas, Cole Anthony, Tyrese Halliburton, Chinese New Year again, Clippers, John O'Hardy, Paul George, Lillard, Bridges, King, Scotty Barnes, rookie, and Kuminga. Chinese New Year behind that. Going to Big Russ. Kevin Porter Jr., SGA, Jimmy Buckets, Steph Curry. That's a nice pack. That is a super nice pack. Malcolm Brogdon to finish it off. What do you guys think about the Brogdon-Halliburton backcourt? I think that's a nice, big, intelligent backcourt that actually has got a little bit of shooting behind it. Maybe more shooting than you would, initially think. Clippers rookie, Brandon Boston Jr. And is that our second CJ Chinese New Year? Let's go into the Pels. Pels is Tom IDF. John Collins, Van Vliet, and rookie is JT Thor. For the Hornets is J-Rock. Drew Holiday, Wendell Carter, Kyrie, Grimes, and Booker on the Chinese New Year. Phoenix Suns. Spook Griffin. Alrighty, last pack. LaMelo Ball, OG, and Luca on the Chinese New Year again. Alrighty, 3 boxes left. Woods, Murray, Rozier, Trey Murphy. Yeah, I can't wait for him to come out in prison, honestly. Kuminga again. Warriors, Big Russ. I think, yeah, Murphy for me is going to be a super strong buy. Particularly when Prism comes out. That's nice. Anthony Edwards. That's going to the Wolves. That's going to J-Rock. Does anyone else feel like there's a bit of movement behind Edwards now and maybe the heat's coming off LaMelo? And it's not the same situation as the Heat moving off Zion and going on to Ja. You know, it's a completely different scenario. But yeah, I hope we have at least a gold, man. I don't know. I just really feel like the collecting sort of swing is moving more behind Edwards, which I think is super interesting. And look, it could be just sort of a short-term thing, simply being that Edwards made the playoffs and LaMelo didn't, but yeah, I think that's going to be interesting how that's going to play out into the future. You know, that sort of whole Edwards. JT thought again on the Chinese New Year, how that's going to play out. I'm actually hoping for an auto, to be honest. If we don't get an auto over Case, that will be like pretty Austin Reeves and Sadiq Bey. Pistons. Oyvind Holland. Carmelo Anthony and Chinese New Year. John Wall, is he still in product? I wonder how they determine that, right? Because they set him out for the year, but he's still being paid. So is that how they build checklists of actual contracts? Because, like, you know, with all rights, he really shouldn't be. I mean, same as Ben Simmons, to be honest. Like, Cooper. And behind that is Jalen Johnson for the Atlanta Hawks. Big Russ. Congrats, mate. That's the better rookie that you want. What do you guys think about Jalen Johnson as a prospect? Because that Hawks team is stacked. And, you know, for a rookie to get time on a playoff team, it's pretty tricky. Yeah, man, you've done well. I think maybe I need to do a deep dive on this. We're going to have heaps of time in the off-season to, you know, to break down some stuff. So maybe Jalen Johnson is someone. James Harden for the Nets is someone we can actually look in and talk about. SGA, Jimmy Buckets, Jeremiah Earl, and Bobby Portis. With the crazy eyes. I'm surprised Portis didn't get a few more minutes this playoffs. But I suppose with Giannis, you know, mostly playing 4 and 5, that doesn't leave a lot of playing time left for old Bobby, does it? Rookie, Luka Garza, Chinese New Year. We haven't had a Cade Cunningham sighting yet, though. That would be nice if we spotted him. Colin Sexton. Van Vliet. Rookie is Charles Bassey, and Chinese New Year behind that is D'Angelo Russell for the Wolves. So I actually, speaking about the Wolves, this flew completely under my radar. So the Wolves have snared away Tim Connolly from the Denver Nuggets as their general manager. They made him the 3rd highest paid executive, and they also gave him equity in the team. So in terms of, you know, someone getting remunerated and swung away to go to their team, like, what an absolute power play there. Montrez again on the Chinese New Year. My gut feeling on the Wolves is probably D'Angelo Russell is the contract that they'd want to try and trade. I think some of the stuff he does is not particularly cognizant with winning basketball. I think that's the fairest way to say it. And I do wonder if the better play for them is that he does get moved on. And I mean, The tricky thing for them, though, is, what would they get back? And they've really struck out badly with some of their picks. Like, if Culver had come good, that would make a massive difference for that team. It really would. Like, talk about, Alrighty, guys, this is the second to last box, so let's hope we get something pretty delicious out of it. Hasn't been a stinker of a break, but at the same time, we could definitely get something a little bit nicer. That would be great. Kispert. And rookie for the Lakers. He's Austin Reeves. Yeah, so Nick, the question is, what did I think about Jimmy Bucklet's taking the 3 at the end of the game? I had no problem in it. I actually thought he had plenty of room to get that shot off. And, I think he's the alpha on that team. I think he's, the man on that team. So it makes sense that he would take the shot. I mean, from a more objective point of view, you could say, well, he just played 48 minutes of a game. Would his legs all been there? And, did he have enough in the tank to get that shot in? Maybe it would have been better that he took the 2. All right, Jalen Green, finally. And LaMelo Ball behind that. No. Hornets, J-Rock, that's for you, boss. Look, to be honest with you, what I found the most, not astonishing, because I don't think Spo's a bad coach by any stretch of the imagination, but when they're at the end of the game, they're trying to get threes. They literally had 1 3-point shooter on the court. And then, so, Duncan Robinson sitting on the bench. Like, I don't know. I think at the end of the game, if you're that far down, why haven't you got all your 3-point shooters in? Like, it was obvious, those last couple of plays, like, where the ball was going to. So, that was probably I was a bit unclear on that. They were playing behind the whole game. Like, I don't know the numbers, but did they have a lead at all in that entire game? I don't think so. So, like, I think sometimes you have to just sort of say, well, Boston played the better game. And Sharif Cooper, Chinese New Year. And, congratulations to Boston. And I think the real question is what's going to happen to that Heat team, because it was pretty obvious they didn't have enough offensive firepower, and you have to think that Robinson's going to be on the move. I can't imagine Lowry coming back. And Book Night on the rookie. And OG on the Chinese New Year. And, as good as Bam's been, I don't probably think he's lived up to his, sort of true potential. And, like, the Heat are very good at building and rebuilding teams. And I wonder if he's the type of chip that, could entice a star out of another team. Like, does Donovan Mitchell get moved? And alrighty, Jason Tatum, the man of the moment. That's the type of player I can see the Heat targeting in on, sort of a disgruntled or unsatisfied superstar. Let's go into the Celtics. Let's go into Josh Lee. I just can't imagine, I suppose what I'm trying to say is I can't imagine the Heat just running that team back just as it is. Isaiah Todd, and behind that, Oklahoma City, is Jeremiah Robinson. I think it's going to be a fun off-season again. There's been so much more player movement the last couple of years, and look, I really enjoy all those sort of trades and trade rumors, and Jeremy Grant, that's going to the Pistons. That's going to Oyvind. Probably my favorite one so far is DeAndre Ayton being linked to the Pistons, I think that makes a whole lot of sense. He's not that old. He would still fit in with a young core. And Garuba for the Rockets, and behind that is Derek White. And, Phoenix have had multiple chances to get a deal done with him. I just don't think that they have, any sort of genuine intention to get him back. Charles Bassey, Philadelphia. Chinese New Year rookie. Alrighty, 2 left in this box, and then 1 more box, and we are Dunsky's, lads, so... Gary Trent, Triple J, Gobert, Zaire Williams, nice little rookie there, and RJ. I don't know, man. I see the thing that's been sort of going through my head with Phoenix is I wonder if they're going to do the Dallas play where essentially they target another ball handler and they essentially put that money that would have been spent on Ayton, say, into someone else. I've said Donovan Mitchell, this is the second time I'm saying it, but I genuinely think that he's going to be on the move. So, do they somehow turn that cap space into Donovan Mitchell? Alrighty, Darren Fox, Chinese New Year. That wasn't much of a surprise reveal at all. That was quite poor, actually. Alrighty, last box, lads. I'm not too sure if you can see that from the... But that is now an empty case. Because what the Dallas Mavericks did down the stretch and into the postseason, I don't think that's a fluke. Like, I really think having 2 really good, or 3, 2 on the court at all times, and sometimes having 3 on the court, with Brunson, Dinwiddie, and Luka, having, guys that can create shots intelligently, make plays for other people, and then also, shoot and score. I just sort of wonder if that's almost the future of how NBA teams are going to be built, and teams are going to be, literally shying away from big guys. Because I don't see any scenario that Ayton gets max this year. Finally, Cade Cunningham, and behind that, Franz Wagner on the Chinese New Year. So finally a Cade. That's our first Cade, and our first Wagner too, actually. Is that the first Orlando card, full stop? And I also see a little bit of internal improvement with the Magic too. So, I mean, yeah, look, Chris Paul is getting older. I think Booker's going to get better. I think Bridges is going to get better. I think Cam Johnson is going to get a little bit better. I've got a lot of faith in Cam Johnson, though. I probably think he was underplayed a little bit this year. I think you could uptick his minutes to sort of, an extra 8 minutes a game. And I think he'll do quite well. He generally will impact the game in quite a positive way when he gets in. Like, he's not, he's not a reckless player. Donovan Mitchell, speaking of the devil, I think the big thing is going to be Chris Paul. Like, how far is that dude going to slide off, and how injured is he going to be? Because, you can't keep, the level that he's been at, you can't keep that up forever. And actually, for a sort of a sneaky conspiracy theory, Wagner again, Colin Sexton. For a sort of a sneaky conspiracy theory, I like Chris Paul going to the Lakers on a minimum, like a vet minimum contract. And he gets teamed up with LeBron James, his best mate, Carmelo Anthony. They can bench, or they can release Westbrook, or they can trade him away for, literally nothing, and it doesn't matter. Chris Paul replaces all of that. And I think the ball can still be in LeBron's hand, and then, Chris Paul is still smart enough to play off that. I thought that was green for a second. Josh Christopher. Houston Rockets rookie. Triple J. Corey Kispert. And John Collins. We have not had an autograph. This is going to be rough. I didn't actually put this into the post description, but I did put it into the price preview. So actually, there's a skunk price for this break too. So it's a $40 one. I'll be able to get a pretty nice Zion Williamson and Van Vliet. So I'll be able to get something pretty nice for that. And I'll do the skunk price how I normally do it. I basically just go through base cards, then I see who's got an insert or a base rookie, and then I see who's got parallels. In this case would be, all Chinese New Year. And then whoever's got the least amount of the parallels, and if there's a draw in that, who's got the least amount of rookies that are base cards. And then that's how I do it out. And sometimes I can't get a tiebreaker, and then I'll just run a quick random. So anyway, I'll put something together. To be honest, I didn't check. Jalen Green on the base and Kai Jones on the Chinese New Year. This break actually filled up super quick tonight, so thank you so much, everyone. I'm not sure if I thanked you guys, actually. That is a super long penny sleeve. Look at that thing. That is unbelievable. I have no idea, man, who wants Westbrook. Yeah, like, you're asking all the right questions here. I'm talking, absolute hypotheticals here. I don't think anyone's going to want him. I think they're stuck. I think if they're going to move off Westbrook, the more likely thing is that they literally just sit him on the bench like what they've done to John Wall in Houston. He just doesn't play. Chris Paul, Phoenix Suns, Spook Griffin. Alrighty, come on. These penny sleeves are enormous. Have I opened the wrong packet? Two 5/8 times 3 5/8. No, all good. Interesting. I think the other thing with Westbrook that not people are forgetting, but is a little bit of a forgotten fact. Book night on the rookie Chinese New Year is Drew Holiday. Like, the Lakers literally don't have an asset left. They gave up what actually turned out to be a really good pick to the Pelicans this year. So pick 11 was conveyed to the Pelicans from the Lakers, And I think for the next 5 years, they've literally traded away all of their assets. So Ben Simmons, how's he looking there? A bit salty, a bit zoned out maybe. Hey, Cade Cunningham, Detroit Pistons, Oivand. Congratulations, mate. Seriously. Finally. These penny sleeves are enormous. You might have to, trim them down. Unbelievable. Yeah, look. I mean, Nick, you really got me thinking about this Westbrook thing. I have absolutely no idea, man. I mean, to take Westbrook off the Lakers' hands, they would have to sweeten the deal to, literally the nth degree. Brunson, Haywood, DeRozan, Isaiah Todd, Chinese New Year, Wendell Carter. Last pack. Come on, this has to be good. Ja Morant, Bam, Jordan Poole, Seth Curry, and our last card of the night, it is Kyrie Irving. Alrighty, guys, let's recap. And then I'm going to hang around and do the penny sleeving live. So if you guys want to have a bit of a chat, ask some questions, whatever, yeah, I'll just still be hanging around here. So this is our top load of cards. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Cade again on the base, Franz Wagner on the Chinese New Year, Jason Tatum, Jalen Green, LaMelo, Jalen Johnson, Edwards, Luka, Scotty Barnes, Green, 77 of 88 for Sharif Cooper. Yeah, not bad, Samuel. We got a couple of number cards. 14 of 88 is Gobert, Luka, Mobley on the Chinese New Year, Bones Highland on the Chinese New Year, Zion Williamson, Kessler Edwards, 72 of 88 on the rookie there, Evan Mobley, Josh Giddey on the Chinese New Year, and our last top loaded card is Mr. Davion Mitchell. Yeah, I will fish out something for the skunk prices to make up for the order. Thank you so much, everyone, for jumping in. I'm very grateful. I always appreciate it, but tonight was definitely a surprise. I wasn't expecting that to happen so quickly, so thank you so much. I'm just going to change over the camera view so I go from the side. Alrighty, there I am. Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourselves. Have a lovely evening. But yeah, always a good break. Yeah, thanks, Jane. Thanks, Nick. Thank you so much, lads. I appreciate the kind words. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it, mate. These penny sleeves are insane. Like, sometimes they're cut so short, I feel like they barely cover the top of the card. And this one's almost like a penny sleeve and a half. I'm not too sure if you can see that. That's just ridiculous, honestly. Yeah, so on the post description, I said I can't break Thursday and Friday. The reason for that, actually, it's my wedding anniversary this weekend. So, in terms of getting mail days and stuff like that out, what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll be sorted. So I'll be able to get some post in the mail probably on Thursday, actually. So if you've already paid for postage the last couple of days and I haven't given you tracking, I would say that, yeah, the postage will be out to you, yeah, Thursday. And then also too, if you've paid for postage and your cards are there, I can add these break cards into that, and that makes it easier for, for me, but obviously it's better for you guys too, because your cards get out. So penny sleeve is ridiculous. Oh, I've still got 11 on. That's awesome, guys. I keep wondering if Aaron Wiggins is related to Andrew. It seems like too much of a coincidence, doesn't, that there's two Wiggins boys in the NBA? Are they cousins or something? Yeah, Jay, no worries, mate. That's not a problem at all. I'm pretty sure I wrote down a note that you wanted shipping. Yeah, I got you down on my shipping list already, man. No troubles at all. Yeah, not a problem. I do get forgetful sometimes, but in saying that, I'm getting better at writing notes for myself. I built a little spreadsheet so I can write that down for the postage. I cannot believe how long these penny sleeves are. Hey, thanks, Jay. I'm actually I'm actually very excited about it. It's our 5th year anniversary, and so I don't know. I just think that this is nice, and I think the last couple of years, though, to be honest, has been like pretty tough. Is not the right word, but I would say it's been challenging. Going through the pandemic. So I think that we mutually agreed that we liked each other. You know what I mean? I think some people sort of struggled through pandemic, and we sort of it probably helped our relationship a little bit in the in the aggregate. It was difficult. Don't get me wrong, being stuck in the same room as someone for like literally 2 years, but I think we've done all right. And now that we're out of lockdown, it's 10 times easier for sure. So. Um, So I just had a really quick look at my Twitter then. I've got a few clicks on that, so that's really good. So guys, if you came to the podcast, if you came to the video feed late and you didn't hear me say this, please go on to Twitter at you can't comp this, and we've got an Sgc giveaway going on at the moment. It's a $50 Sgc credit, and you can send in your cards to be graded with Sgc. I've currently got two in, I lie to you, for grading myself. So I'm sort of just, going through the process, I suppose. Slabbed, slabd.com.au, their whole premise is that they give you live updates all the way through the process. So, I think that's a really nice little feature. And the other thing they like to sell to is their bank grade vaults that they've got to store your cards in, and also their insurance processes. So yeah, look, check them out. They've got some really interesting services there. Khalil's a really smart guy, and I think he's doing some interesting things in that space. He does that basically it's a full-time job for him, so he's not doing it as a hobby. Like he's literally a professional. Yeah, man. I was lucky too in that sense. I did go to work, but at that sort of same time too, I actually stopped working to look after the Rugrat. So that was what's the right word? Shock. That was shock. Yeah, but I think being able to work through lockdown, honestly, was just such a good thing for people, just having something else to think about. I also say too, so I now work from home. That was probably the other thing that I transitioned into. Yeah, I look, if I do get a small, office space or something like that, that will be lovely. But at the same time, I don't feel any particular sort of nagging urge to go back to work. I'm actually really happy working at home. I think particularly, with our kids being the age they are, it's really nice to sort of be around a little bit more. But even when the kids are older, I think it's just, I actually really like working from home. All right, I'm done, lads. That's all the penny sleeving sorted out and done. This is the last one here. Yeah, sorted. So I think I'm going to end the feed. And look, yeah, before I end it, just want to thank you all guys again. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves and hit me up on DM if you have any questions. Good night, guys.